Hello again, Pre-Cal. This is Ms. Kosh. We are finishing up this page of notes. So on this one, they're asking us to find the average rate of change over this particular interval. So I plugged in 1 into, for 8, I have h of 1, I plugged in 1. I have h of 4, I plugged in 4, and I get these values. So now what I want to do to find the average rate of change, I'm going to say h of 4 minus h of 1 over the x value is 4 minus 1. And then on this one, h of 4 is 1/2, h of 1 is 2/7, and it's all being divided by 4 minus 1, or 3. I could write 3 at this point. So one thing that is unique to AP Pre-Cal as opposed to AP Calculus or some of your other classes, they want everything simplified. So if you stopped here, they would not give you credit because you've got fractions in a fraction and that's no good. So one option would be to say, okay, well this is, there's a few ways to think through this, and if you have a calculator, life is even easier. But 1/2 is 7/14, and 2/7 is 4/14, and it's being divided by 3. So you could either multiply by 14 over 14, or you could say, well, this is 3/14 that's being multiplied by 1/3. Notice it's being divided by 3, which is the same thing as multiplied by 1/3. I'm lazy, efficient, and I'm going to cancel out my 3's, and I'm going to find out that this average rate of change is 1/14. Okay? Continuing on. It says, given the graph of this, find the average rate of change over the interval -1. This was a typo we caught. Well, anyway, that should have been a little bracket to 3. So at -1, I have the point g of -1 is equal to 0, or it's the coordinate -1, 0. So you could think of it either way. This point over here appears to be 3, 4. So g of 3 is equal to 4. If we wrote that as a coordinate, it would be the point 3, 4. And so the average rate of change, I'm going to do the same process that I've done a couple times now. So 4 minus 0 over 3 minus -1, I see 4 over 4, which is equal to 1. And if you think about it, we're looking at this line that goes through those 2 points. It's a secant line. It's going through those particular points. And notice it's got a slope of 1 over 1, so its slope is 1. This one, the piecewise here, is a little more interesting because we have to think about when I find f of -2, I don't plug it into just whichever part or both parts. I have to decide where does it fall. So this part is defined for when x is less than or equal to 1. And this part is defined when x is greater than 1. So we're going to plug it into this top one. And so we'll say this is 3 times -2 minus 2. -6 minus 2 is -8. F of, and then we also want to know what is f of 3. Okay, so on this one, now 3 is greater than 1, so we're going to plug it into that part. 3 squared plus 1, maybe I should write it like that so you can see what I'm doing. 9 plus 1 is 10. Life is good. Okay, so it's going to be f of 3 minus f of -2 all over, maybe I should say the AROC equals if I wanted to. 3 minus a -2. So f of 3 was 10, f of -2 is -8, all over 5. So this gives me, that's 18/5, and life is good. Average rate of change over this, they're wanting to know from this point and then this point. Okay, so I've got the coordinates, f of -3 is equal to, that appears to be -2 to me. This one, f of, was this f? No, it's g. I just like to use f, my bad. Okay, pretend that's g. Let's change that to a g, whatever. That's minor in this problem. And so g of 9 is equal to 3. So I've got 3 minus a -2 over 9 minus a -3. We don't have to have those parentheses, but if it makes us feel better, we're adding, this is 5, we're adding, this is 12. And there you go. The next part, I'm going to just have you practice that for homework. I think that's kind of a review of Algebra 2. I didn't find it to be that challenging, and I don't really want to teach it. So let me know if you have questions. Good luck. Go practice.